Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Chiefs draw 0-0 with Cape Town City. It is a painful one to watch because Chiefs basically dominated. Let me say dominated. In the terms of let's not say dominated to the full extent, but we were the team everyone expected to win because of the chances, because of how many chances we limited for Cape Town City. Cape Town City was more defending. They couldn't play. Chiefs were stopping the play, which was good to see. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get down to it. First half, it's not on Nabi, it's the players. First half, it was the players. Mfundo Dushabalala missed a sitter. Solomon's missed a nice chance there. Dupree misjudged a ball that's set up for him. And because he misjudged it, he didn't time it well, and the goalkeeper got it. Chiefs was on top of Cape Town City. Yes, Cape Town City did have that one chance, Makaringe and Darwin Gonzalez, but the Gonzalez one was not really much of a chance. But the one thing I wanted to mention about that Darwin Gonzalez shot where he took it with his left is that he almost scored the exact same goal he scored against Vuma. Vuma was following Darwin Nunez where he was going to pass, and this guy almost hit him near post. Hey, Vuma, one day we're going to cry because of this guy. We're glad that the PSL lacks smart players, because Darwin Nunez is a smart player. Gonzalez, he's a smart player, but the only problem with Gonzalez is that he just didn't hit the target. But first half, it's all the players. The players are at fault for the first half because their players could have won Nabi the game in the first half. Second half is Nabi. The moment Ranga Chivavero came into the game, I knew for a fact we would not win this game. I knew for a fact that we would not win this game. Nabi pulled out all the players who could have possibly got us a goal, and he brought on the players who we knew it's touch and go. And even with the Rangachi Vavero, it was one of those things. I can't say much. Modi did well to be introduced. He created chances. The only problem I have with Modi is target, Baba. Can't you the one time he hit the target, Darren Keats had a good save. But other than that, what's with Chiefs players are not being able to hit the target in good positions? Lollipop is the only one, I think, who kept looking like a threat. The only problem with Lollipop, and this is my one problem with Lollipop, and I've said this in other videos, you guys will remember when I analyze with Lollipop, I always say this. I say sometimes Lollipop is too wide. He is too wide, and then when he has to take a shot, it's like a very difficult shot to take. Lollipop needs to find a way to get more central so he has more of a spot to pick on in terms of the pole, because he likes taking these shots that are from such tight angles that it's always going to be at the advantage of the keeper. But sometimes you just want him, Lollipop, get more inside and then take the shot. That's what we want from him. He reminds me of a quality that I didn't like about Saile. And the quality I didn't like about Saile is that they are fast players, but they don't know how to use their pace to beat a player who is in a standing position. They always want to do this thing of running at the same time as the player who's in which it's kind of becomes 50-50. They never do this thing of running one split seconds faster than that player because they have more pace and they'll beat that player. That's the one thing. Because when you look at Lollipop and Saile, they almost do similar things when they run past players. The difference between Saile and Lollipop is that Saile does not have good ball control. So when Saile kicks the ball, even if he's going to get the ball past the striker or the defender, chances of him doing something solid with that chance is very low. But with Lollipop, he can get past the player and he can make a good decision. The only problem sometimes I have with him is that he makes the same sort of run all the time. And when it becomes like that, he becomes predictable, and teams start knowing how to keep him out the game. They just give him the space on the wing, they keep him there, and then they do covers. So if Lollipop passes one person on the right back or the right wing, he will be he will be faced with another defender or midfielder blocking him. And that's the thing I've picked up about Lollipop, his game. We just need better players in our team, because I've realized that as good as Lollipop will be in our team in the future, we need players that are going to be better than him. Like, I don't know what's happening with Serino. Serino is very off. Like, this Serino that I'm seeing right now is just not the one. I don't know if, and maybe to someone who is also to blame for this is maybe Nabi, because Nabi is doing this thing of playing Serino more on the right wing than he does on the left wing. And the one thing I've picked up on the right wing is that Solomons and Lilepo have a better combination than Serino and Solomons. So Nabi is failing to see the chemistry between certain players. Solomons and Lilepo know how to read each other's games and know how to cover for each other. But it seems Nabi wants Solomons to play with Serino, whereas Serino plays better with Edmilson Dove and when Mdu Shabalala is on the left. Because one thing you'll see is that Mdu Shabalala plays the role of the 10, but he often finds himself more on the left-hand side of the field. And that's where he's best played with Serino. Because the one thing that Serino and Mdu Shabalala do well for each other is that they know how to support each other's runs. When Lollipop passes Mdu Shabalala, Mdu makes a run, let's say on the left, he always, when Mdu gets the ball, he is looking for the inside pass, meaning the run that Serino would make more on the inside, so Mdu can cut it back to him. But Lollipop kind of doesn't like going in the middle. He stays behind Mdu and just sits in the pocket that, or like almost like the left back or whatever. He doesn't like support the run from the middle, because if he could support the run from the middle, it would create that situation that I mentioned, that he would get a better angle at taking a shot from range. But other than that, I want to say this. We drew this game because of the players and Nabi. The players also have fault in this game. We missed a lot of chances. The second half chances that we missed, they were good, but they were like half chances. The best chances we had, I think, were almost in the first half. The second half were mostly like half chances or excellent shots. It was never like a clear chance at goal. I think Cape Town City actually had the best chance of the second half with Makaringi. But Nabi, I don't know how many times I have to continue to say this. Nabi substitutions are going to kill him. Ranga Chivavero had no business being in this game. This game, we didn't need someone who is going to... Ranga can't hold the ball. Like, I get Nabi's trying to give him minutes and stuff. Nabi maybe didn't feel the threat of Cape Town City, so he thought that, let me just throw him in, let's see what can happen. But if you want to win a game, why would you want to win the game with someone who can win games? Ranga just can't win us games. I'm sorry, he's just not it, Maybe he will be good for a small team with no pressure and all of that, but at Chiefs, he's just not it. Ranga, the less said about him, the better. Mfundo Vilagazi came in with good energy. I liked his energy. The Frosler substitution, a part of me gets it, but the one thing I hate, and I hate is a strong word. Maybe let me not use the word hate, Buffett, because Frosler uyangdina. Yazo Frosler uyangdina, because in situations where he can pass the ball on the ground, Frosler ufuna ukulchipa. And I always say this, Frosler, the only player who can header the ball is Lollipop. The rest need the ball on the ground. They need tap-ins, and that is why I prefer Solomons. When Solomons came in, when he started, he was a threat, because when he got behind, he was hitting near post or hitting cutbacks, or he was just playing the ball on the ground. Solomons does not kick in the air. That's the one thing I like about Solomons. He does not do this thing of passing the ball in the air. He passes the ball on the ground. And And we were more of a threat as Chiefs with the ball on the ground. Yes, Lollipop is a threat in the air, but the thing is that Lollipop doesn't often position himself in a position. And the other problem, one thing I don't know if people don't, or maybe I've watched the PSL for long, that I know certain players and how they play. Do not kick the ball in the air when you're playing against Darren Kidd. Darren Kidd is a pro with the ball in the air. He may not be the best keeper you like, but you see, when you kick the ball in the air, you make him shine. There's no keeper in the PSL who can catch the ball like Darren Kidd. You know these high balls that Chiefs kept trying to play. I just knew it. I knew every time they would kick them, I'm like, yeah, Darren Kidd. Darren Kidd's gonna catch this. Darren. Like, guys, if there's one keeper that I think I know that these guys fail to analyze, it's Darren Kidd. Darren Kidd is actually the best, better than Ronan Williams, better than any keeper in this league, China, anyone. He's the best at catching the ball in the air. Maybe he's not the best shot stopper. You can say what you want about that, but in terms of catching the ball, you cannot play crosses around Darren Kidd. Darren Kidd catches, Baba. Even if you can say he punches the ball, yes, he does punch. But in terms of catching, he's the most he's the most irritating keeper. That's why if you play the balls in the air, you play to his advantage. And I couldn't understand why, what kind of analysis. Maybe this is where our technical team lack South African knowledge. In these moments, you realize that our technical team does lack some South African knowledge, because there are certain keepers that you just know that you just shouldn't do certain things with. For example, when you play Ronan Williams, you need to be careful of hitting these long passes behind the defenders, because he's a sweeper keeper. So you need to play perfect balls, these balls that are going to get to your striker first before they get to Ronan Williams, because he's a sweeper keeper. He makes sure he comes out on time. With Darren Kidd, don't hit the balls in the air, because you play to his advantage. If you're going to hit the ball in the air, you have to have a quality cross of the ball. When I say quality cross of the ball, there are people who cross the ball so well that it's difficult for a keeper to come out, because they know that any touch is a goal. And I feel like if you hit these balls that chill in the air too long, Darren Kidd will chow those balls every night. So today was a tough game. It was a good game to watch to the eye. Chiefs did well. Thabo Qele did well. Nkosimphiwe Ngcobo, disappointing for a player who when he got into an attacking position, his passes were often good, but him as a center mid, that position he played, he was bad, because he kept giving away the ball. Nkosimphiwe Ngcobo makes the wrong passes as a center mid. Qele always makes the right passes. Yes, maybe one or two will go astray, but when I say right passes, that Qele will never make a pass that he's either not sure about or he knows he is covered for, like a risky pass. So Ngcobo wants to pass sometimes risky passes, but the team is not sitting in the right position for that risky pass. So when he passes it and Cape Town City intercepted, our team always looks off balance. It always looks like Cape Town City now can score. But luckily for us, Cape Town City also couldn't pass the ball today. All the players that we praised, that looks like that we know are quality in Cape Town City, were off today. Mokgotjo was off. Sirero was off. Makaringa was, I think, slightly better, but he also wasn't giving them much. But yeah, the one thing I do wanna know is, when Dylan Solomons was he kicked inside the box? I feel like we were robbed of a penalty, because that person who kicked Dylan Solomons from the behind, the contact started from inside the box and it ended with him being outside the box. So in my book, I thought that was actually a penalty. So did Chiefs get robbed of a penalty? That is my question. You guys let me know. Amakhosi for life.